I'm on with Dr. Rick. Woo!
Hello, Marcus.
Hey, we want to wait for this. We let our intro roll a little bit. We'll know exactly when it's time, but we have Dr. Rick. Who would have thought? Let's talk some men's health. Dank Dad Sports, we're doing Dank Dad Health. Dank Dad Healthy Lifestyle.
That's right. If there is such a thing, we're going to talk about it here.
That's what it's going to be.
That's right.
I want to thank you for coming, my friend.
Thank you for the invitation.
No
I
problem.
very much appreciate it. And I know you guys are legit because Jeff's got the sweatshirt on right there.
Oh yeah, we got hoodies.
Right.
Yeah, we're not playing.
You're not messing around.
Not at all. Hey, what's the score of that game, Jeff? Ooh, salute! Those guys are back. I got my guy, Dr. Ricardo Gonzalez, in the building. Dr. Rick is not only he's not only my doctor, my primary, but he's also one of my good friends.
Thank you.
I've attended several Halloween parties at Dr. Rick's house, and
which is the definition, so you know, because when people call the office, they're like,
"What?
You got to get me an appointment over there," and they say, "Sorry, he's booked out like 3 months." They're like, "No, you don't understand. He's my friend." And so they say, so they'll come and ask me,
right?
Hey, so and so your friend? I say, well, wait, if they haven't been to my Halloween party,
come on now, Doctor.
God
damn it, the best. Listen, it's the best Halloween party in Reno.
They get denied.
Forget about it.
There you go. You know you're on the list,
and it might bump you up a little bit, huh?
That's it.
But now listen, let me tell you something. But when you go to a Dr. Rick party, just know your next 2 days gonna be fucked all the way off, okay? Because there's people with syringes, with stuff in it.
They're not going anywhere except their mouth. Just
wait a minute. Doctor, wait a minute. First of all, there's syringes. Okay? And they don't even tell you what's in it. All right? You go into a doctor's house, syringes, you don't know what the fuck is in it.
That's
but
right.
Guess what?
Well, shout out for Jeff Pierce, because he is my bartender every year. And
he
makes the bomb shit that mixes up every year. It's different, and it's rocking. It sneaks up on you, so you never know.
I love some Jeffs.
Listen,
listen, you drink these, whatever's in that solution, I don't fucking know, but you drink it, right? But then it's like, oh man, this is a good time. And then all of a sudden, you're having a great time, and you're like, oh fuck. It gets real slow. And then all of a sudden, you say, what did happen to Melissa Tobert? She's outside in the parking lot puking because she don't want anybody to see her puke in the house. Shit gets real.
I am not responsible for anyone's behavior. I just want
Is that what you got to do? Is that hard?
Everyone is an adult. It comes to these things. What they do on their own time there.
Yes.
Right. We all have to be responsible for ourselves.
So listen, this is an extension of the Dank Dads, an extension of what we do here. But Jeffrey Peterson, my co-host, me and him, we're going to start some new stuff, and we're just reaching out, and he's behind the scenes on this one, and I'm so thankful for my brother, and he is in the building.
And he's helping me make sure I don't totally fuck this thing up. So
you can't fuck this up, man.
Right.
You can't fuck this up.
This is my first podcast here.
Listen, if you seen what we did before you got here,
well, I think I can smell it. That's for sure. I'm not sure that's what you're talking about or not. We're all good in the house. It is called Dank Dads, right?
Hey,
that's what the name of the program is.
Listen, we wanted to do an extension and bring in, we're all getting older. And I've come to you, and one thing, let me tell you this too. I've talked to Rick and told Rick everything.
Wait 1 second. Have I already done a prostate exam on you? I can't remember. I know you would remember better than me.
Whoa.
I do so many of them to me.
Hey, listen.
But I can't recall. Are we breaking HIPAA? Maybe we shouldn't go there?
No, first of all, I want to say this. The fact that you don't remember my prostate exam makes me a little bit upset.
Is that insulting to you?
Yes, it is.
I don't remember that.
I feel like that was a moment, but I don't know. Is that,
maybe I blocked it out on purpose.
Is that a little gay? I feel like there was a moment between you and I.
My part. I don't know. I know it was a moment for you for sure. You felt it differently than I did, but.
Okay, you came to play, huh? You mother. That was a prostate exam.
If I gotta look at you, if I gotta look at you eye to eye, I can't forget when I'm looking at your other eye.
Oh my God!
So we just kind of.
Hey, listen. Okay. All right. First of all, listen. Here's what's great about this. All right. This is the first thing I wanted to bring up with my prostate.
We're talking about men's health and getting older.
Hey, listen, okay, all right.
Prostate examinations start at 40-year-old.
Okay.
African American men.
Right.
40 years old. And family history of prostate cancer. You should start at 40 years old.
Right. So do you think that African American men are a little more? What's the numbers on that?
Higher risk.
Why? Why is that?
I would imagine genetics, but I haven't studied it that closely.
Right. Okay.
I didn't come prepared talking about prostate, but we can do that.
Hey, listen, we're in here now. Okay, so we're in there. So listen. Let me say this. All right. So I called Rick before, and I said, Rick, I need a prostate exam, and it's about that time for me. And I said, if I'm going to have anybody do this in my butt, I wanted to be my friend Rick Gonzalez. Huh?
I really don't know how to respond to that, but
I'll
take it as a positive.
Don't worry about it. That was my
it as a positive.
thought process in my mind. I want my buddy Rick to go. And let me just say this. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
What I found with the younger generation, which since I got you by at least 10 years, I'm pretty sure. I think we don't have to disclose ages, but
okay.
It's not the first time someone's had their finger up their ass. So it's, you know what I mean? Like, this isn't like some 65-year-old who's denied it his whole life. Like, I'm pretty sure the 30-year-olds these days.
I've never had a finger up my butt, Rick.
Prior to that?
Before, I had an incident once before that I thought something was going on. And then that time was the only time I really had a real finger up my butt.
Yeah, Rick.
Yo, listen. And let me tell you something. So, Rick, I'm like,
the pendulum has swung in that direction of the peers.
I'm like, Rick, how does this go? Younger people. How does this go, Rick? He's like, you're just gonna bend over. I'm gonna lube this up.
Again, I'm pretty sure not the first time you've heard that.
And I'm gonna go. That's not Rick. I have never heard that before. Trust me. And listen, he bends me over, right? And then I'm like, hey, wait a minute. Whoa. 1 second. Let me get myself together. And listen, this was a moment that Rick totally fucking forgot. My prostate exam.
Again, that should be an applause that I forgot that. You don't want to be like every time I see you, Marcus, and we're toasting or like we're eating crab or something, and he's like, he's thinking about that, and maybe like I'm thinking about that.
Oh, I get it. Right? I get it.
We don't need that.
Oh,
in our
weird.
first relationship, right?
That's weird.
Exactly.
You just made that weird, Rick.
Oh, I thought I made it unweird. I thought I made it unweird.
Listen. First of all, but fuck that. Let me say this.
Sorry, we're on a
Everybody's gay for 30 seconds, okay? And listen, men, we have to get this done. It's the bottom line. Brothers, if we want to stay healthy. Fathers, if we want to stay healthy, right?
Correct.
I think it's super important that for dads who truly love their families, man, you have to, health is first, man. It's very important to get health first.
Symptoms, people ignore that shit all the time. They're like, oh, I'm getting old, that's why I dribble or whatever. It's like, no, you got to go get checked out.
Absolutely.
Yep. Simple.
So, Rick, tell me a little bit about yourself. Where did we go to college? Why did we get into medicine? Where we from?
Oh, my God.
Give it to me real quick.
All right, I'll give you the quick bio. Pretty much grew up in Vegas and always was into science and medicine and, from blowing up lizards to like, just whatever, like watching.
Time out. How the fuck would you blow up a lizard, Rick?
It's like firecrackers and shit. Bad stuff that you're not supposed to do when you're a kid. Like, test those boundaries.
Would you tape it? Would you how would you get the lizard?
There's millions of lizards everywhere. We don't need to go into this. Let's move on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So I just was into science. I was like, the body interested me. Like, right? It was kind of interesting, science and life and death. Always interested me. So anyway, there's no doctors in my family. I just kind of dug it and went to UNLV undergraduate, went to UNR's med school, and Went to the University of Arizona, Tucson to do family medicine, and here I am. 20 years practicing medicine in Northern Nevada.
And now you're sitting here with the goddamn Dank. Salute. Now, Rick, how many kids you got, bro?
Got 3 children. 3. Esme, we're going to shoot out there. Esme's a senior of McQueen. She's going to be graduating here.
Now, his daughter, Esme, looks just like my daughter.
Very similar.
Which is very weird.
Don't take that into anywhere beyond that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
And then I have, I got 2 more.
I wanted to say something about that.
I know, but if I don't say something about the other 2, I'm in trouble. You know how that is.
Okay.
So Tegan's my middle child. He is 15.
All right.
And then I have Ashley, who is 10.
And where do they go to school at?
Roland Melton for the little one, and then my middle guy is also at McQueen.
Okay.
Rockin' McQueen.
Peterson.
I guess I'll give McQueen
a little bit. Jeffrey Peterson's in alumnus of McQueen.
McQueen's doing all right for my kids. They're doing a good job. Senior and was before that, I guess a sophomore. He's in 5th. Yeah, he's on his way out of elementary. Oh, at Roland Melton, yeah, good school.
Roland Melton's a hell of a school.
Yeah,
I love their principal.
He
is give it to him.
He gets it.
Yes,
Mr. Matavia. Yeah,
he's the bomb, bro. He's rapping before. Yes, sir. Shout out to him.
Great guy.
So listen, I know you do a lot of stuff outside of just with health insurance, and you're building Peavine Medicine.
Yeah, Peavine Family Practice.
Let's shout them out.
Yeah. Hey, one more.
Wow, hit it.
And then
what's the address on that too as well?
We're off of Sierra Highlands, 2005 Sierra Highlands, kind of northwest area here in Reno, and I've been there 5 years now. So
God damn, really?
I can't believe it, but 5 years. Yeah.
So at the end of the day, there's so many. I know you have your practice, but outside of that, what else are you doing right now?
Well, it's crazy because before I opened my own practice, I kind of wore a bunch of hats. I did a lot of work in mental health and addiction. Oh. And so through like some connections I met, doing that kind of work, I got in with this group. We're doing treatment for all kinds of brain injury and mental health issues like depression, anxiety, but a lot of TBI work, and so people with multiple head injuries, concussions, we have ultimately brain fog and headaches and that kind of stuff. So we're treating a lot of that kind of stuff. And it's pretty cool because it's different than anything else that's kind of out there.
Do you think we're touching on a cure for Alzheimer's?
Unfortunately, our stuff that we do doesn't look like it can do much for that.
But I just mean in general. Do you think it's just medicine?
Well,
now?
Actually, FDA just approved the medication. I don't really know the name. Supposedly going to help slow down the progression a little bit. But it's right now that one's not an area that we've made kind of advances that we would like. So hopefully there's more research there. Dementia's a rough one.
In your area, what you do, it's a clinic, correct?
Yeah, I do family medicine. I do a little bit of everything. Take care of your diabetes and your blood pressure, and
I mean for the brain.
The brain place. That place. So again, it's a handful of things. A lot in the psychiatric world. So PTSD, general anxiety, OCD, definitely major depressive disorder. But things like chronic migraines. Again, other TBI kind of associated things. Get into all that. And addiction. We do some addiction work there as well.
I definitely wanted to move into some. I played football for a long time, and I have a lot of friends who've experienced CTE, who are experiencing CTE at this point, right?
After years, right?
Yeah. And I've told you 100 times, like I played from 6 to like 24.
Yeah.
Maybe 1 year off in between all of that, right? And see a lot of, you hear the stories all the time, and it's some scary shit.
Well, I mean, I think part of the scary thing is that, you kind of bounce back, right? I mean, you take your hits and maybe even lights go out a couple times, and you take, a week off or something, and then you're back in the game, and you're thinking you're good. That happens enough times, and then 5-10 years later, then you're like, can't figure out how to tie my shoes.
But listen, in I am 43 years old. In 1996, nobody knew what the fuck a concussion really was.
Or at least, I don't think they took it to real, yeah.
So there was a motherfucker with fingers in front of your face back then. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're like, how many fingers? And then go back in.
Right.
So a lot of the guys I feel like experiencing CTE at this point just never had people around to truly know what was to come. You know what I mean?
Not even close. But it's funny. Like if anybody paid attention, right? So growing up, my dad was really into boxing, so I used to watch all those guys, right? Sugar Ray Leonard.
You still love boxing?
I like to watch it. I don't follow it. I can't tell you the names, but if I'm coming across and I see a fight, like that catches my attention. I can enjoy a good boxing match. But we talk about people being punch drunk and stuff like that back in the day.
My uncle, I got an uncle who's really slow speech,
or if you just knew somebody on the block who got his ass kicked a few times,
absolutely,
like, home is
absolutely.
Not right. And so we knew it was there. It just didn't have a name. Nobody took the attention to say, hey, wait a second, this is happening to some of our players, and it's just a detail that to them is probably getting lost because they're like, hey, this guy's out there scoring touchdowns. I don't really give a shit what's happening to his brain right now.
And I think the biggest thing is now it's I think the NFL is doing better. I think they're finding, if you look at some of the helmets now, they're really trying to
right. There's been a lot of overhaul there.
Do you know a lot of the symptoms of CTE?
Yeah, I mean, it starts pretty simple. Things like, minor memory lapses, which a lot of us, again, will kind of play off as us just getting older. But
what's the difference between a weed memory lapse? Because I have fucking listen, bro. I have taken my drink to the and left out of here and went to the bathroom. Like, what the fuck is my drink for the next 17 minutes?
Right,
I'm in a weed search.
Yeah. And
what's the difference?
It's probably very similar. The difference is you didn't be smoking weed, right? You didn't do that. But it's like, like you go into your local grocery store and you get lost driving home. Like, all of a sudden you're like, wait a second, I don't recognize where I am in my town, or can't tell the time of day very well. Like just these little things that kind of throw you off. Memory again is not sharp. And then it's just progressing.
Tell me a little bit about Jeff. What's his name? Jeff Hard?
Jeff Hadwick.
Hadwick.
Shit. You know what? I'm gonna say this wrong. He's gonna kill me.
I would love to talk about Jeff Hadwick.
Oh my God, you're gonna make me look bad.
He's an icon
of a brand.
He's an icon,
like a live
human
thing here.
He's Hadwick. An icon Jeff of a Hadwick. Human.
See, you said Hardwick and you threw me off. I'm blaming it on you.
Sorry.
It's Hadwick. Jeff Hadwick.
These are my notes. I apologize.
There it is. It's all good. You're good.
Tell me a little something about him, because he sounds like an amazing human who went through a lot.
Well, I don't want to tell a lot of this story.
Neither do I, but I want to celebrate him for sure.
He actually was a former professional football player, and he also was a local high school teacher, and he's done a lot of good things in his life, but spent a period of time where he, because of some head injuries and ultimately other health issues, which led down the road of using opiates, ended up kind of down and out to the point of sleeping on the street and getting, arrested for felony charges for selling the, stolen weapon. And next thing you know, right, his life's a mess. And anyway, he was able to get some treatment, and now he's like this advocate for this thing we do. And
what's the thing that you do? We want to know. Like, I want.
So it's called EMBP.
That's it.
That's
what I want to know.
It's called EMBP. It's
because listen, I want to let people know.
Yeah.
There are always people that, there's rare diseases, there's injuries, there's this. But anybody that might be listening, if we can touch anybody.
Yeah.
As a Dank dad,
it's pretty cool.
I want them to know what you do, and if they can find help somewhere or even an idea of what to do.
Right.
This is what I want to do. I want to make sure that we can serve, because I have this friendship with people who do this shit.
Yeah.
And so I thought it'd be dope to do it.
It's out there. It's, people don't realize how prevalent it is, even if you don't play professional sports. You take a few diggers on the ski hill, or,
goddamn,
yeah. Right? Stuff can kind of catch up. But anyway, so the name of the place is Epic Brain Center. We're kind of right by St. Mary's Hospital. And again, we got Jeff who works there, Jordan, who is another great guy who has his story as well. He'll share with you. But so anyway, we do this EMBP thing. It's magnet therapy. We do this EEG of your brain. We can kind of check out the brain waves and see how they look altered compared to other people and what we consider kind of normal by default. And then we use this magnet and we gently manipulate your brain waves, man, and it kind of puts things back in check and people feel better.
Can you help me to bend a spoon with my mind?
We're working on that. I think that's in the blue pill. I'm not really sure.
Nah, fuck that. Listen, if you got fucking magnets, Rick, I want to know, can I bend a spoon with my mind if you help me?
I looked at you. I'm pretty sure you can bend any fucking spoon that comes your way. I don't think you need any mind tricks.
Hey, yo, we are the Dank Dads, man. You can catch us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Listen, I got my guy, Dr. Rick Gonzalez, and we just having a blast here. Listen, at this point in my life, I'm 43 years old, and I had to break out of a space where, like, I realized how much I had. And I went to you one time, right? And I was talking to you one day, and I was like, Rick, I'm just so blessed. I don't want to die. I don't want to die, right?
I remember that.
And a lot of men feel like that.
I think a lot of people, yeah, absolutely. They get to that point and they cherish what they got, and
they don't
want to let it slip away. They worked hard to get there.
And so, you go to your doctor, and it's like, tell me something that I know that I'm safe.
You want me to tell you
something?
No,
but I'm saying that's how people feel when they come to you.
Well, yeah, I imagine there's some of
like
that.
What's the pressure of that fucking shit, man? How do you prepare for that through college to like know that you have to tell people bad fucking news?
Yeah. Well,
how do you condition your mind? Because as a Dank Dad here, we do a lot of mental. Me and Jeff.
Mental masturbation?
Nah, yeah, I guess. Yeah. We really get sharp.
Jeff agrees.
We really get sharp, and we really try to maximize our minds to push, even in fitness and the whole nine. And like, I just can't imagine what it's like to have to tell people bad news, or to have people just look for you to be the source.
Yeah.
Of a feel good.
I mean, part of it is I know that it's bigger than me, and like I only have my little part of the control. Like I always like to tell people, I can do for you what I can do in this 15, 20 minutes I'm in the office. Like the rest of it's kind of on you. If you don't wear your seatbelt, you keep drinking, you don't drop the weight. There's a lot of stuff you can end up doing to yourself to a certain degree. The rest of it kind of is genetics and bad luck.
Fuck.
Like we're gonna maybe talk about dude's heart, right? That's
for sure.
It's bad luck.
I definitely want we getting into that bitch for sure.
God, right? So I mean, I know there's things that I can control to a certain degree, and things that people can kind of control. The rest, you kind of you're rolling the dice a little bit.
Well, I just know that there's a lot of men at this point don't even think about taking care of themselves.
Right.
What's the biggest murderer right now of men, period? What's really, is it heart disease?
Yeah, heart disease is number one still across the board, and has been for a while. We still have issues. I mean, men, obviously prostate cancer is usually in the top 5. Colon cancer is still huge across the board, both genders.
How often should you get checked for colon?
So again, if there's family history, you start kind of younger, but right now the guidelines are you start at 45.
For colon cancer?
Yep, 45, yeah.
Start at 45 years old for colon cancer?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And how do you fight some of these things? How do you?
Again, sometimes there's things you can do in terms of lifestyle. Probably tobacco is one of the worst things that anybody can put in their body.
Okay.
Honestly, even just a little bit here and there, it comes out through your urine, comes out in your stool. So it's like the only substance I know that's like associated with like probably almost every cancer.
Tobacco is?
Yeah, absolutely.
Tobacco, period.
Yeah, head and mouth cancers, gingival cancers, esophageal cancer, pancreatic cancer, colon cancer, bladder cancer, lung cancer.
Tobacco.
Obviously linked to all that. Tobacco is a beast. But then,
God damn it.
Separate from that, again, there's some theories out there. I don't go kind of wild and crazy. There's a bunch of crazy shit.
Tobacco is a beast.
Tobacco's a beast. Plus, it's one of the most addictive things. It's actually harder to quit than heroin, if you can believe that. It's a bitch.
So what do you believe? What's more important, exercise or diet?
Oof. I mean, I honestly think both.
Because some motherfuckers can get away with staying in shape off a diet, but not exercise.
And I think some people are genetically kind of
obviously
going to do better one direction than the other. I tell all my patients that exercise is the only fountain of youth. You can get away with eating some shit if you exercise your body.
God damn it. Exercise is the only fountain of youth?
That's it.
Where'd you get that from? Is that yours?
That's mine.
What?
Yes, sir.
First of all, we're going to steal that from Dr. Rick tomorrow. We'll call your attorney.
I already told my wife I'm working on a book on my saying. No, you ain't
We're stealing this.
I got a bunch of my sayings. I'm going to copyright that bitch right now.
You better do it.
I got to do it.
You better fucking do it.
No,
It's already copyrighted now.
That's mine. That's mine. I got my sayings. Everybody knows.
What do you think about marijuana, bro?
I don't know where you want to go with that. I think
I'm asking.
It's definitely safer than tobacco, I think, from.
But listen, even if you rolling your weed in the tobacco paper, right? Let's just say somebody left this here. What the fuck is this? Who left this?
It's Dank Dad.
Who will fucking leave this here? If they were rolling something like this, right? I don't even know what this is. What is this? This is called right now. Strawberry, apparently. Okay. This is what they use?
That's apparently what they use.
All right. Listen, if they were to roll in something like that, what would you recommend if somebody was smoking weed? What would you recommend they use? Papers or something like that?
I mean, I would say you'd probably want to go as natural as you would and just
natural. How bad is marijuana just by itself, just smoking it?
So definitely things that it causes. So it decreases testosterone levels and shifts your testosterone production as a man into the estrogen world because those are all kind of in the same linear kind of chemical group. So
right.
So then you end up getting man boobs and
what weed?
Yeah, absolutely.
Marijuana
and alcohol, the two main reasons you'll see men get man boobs.
What?
Yes. And then low sperm count.
Thank God I don't smoke marijuana.
Right. Yeah. You just work out those pecs, and so you hide it pretty well, I think.
I mean, I don't smoke weed, but I don't want.
Right. But there you go. Look at that. Cool. But yes, if you're having trouble getting your lady pregnant, then you may want to cut back
on the marijuana.
And memory, everybody knows that, right? You're just talking about it.
Yeah.
Fucks with definitely your short-term memory, and then potentially even your long-term memory to some degree as well. So it's your trade-off, right? I guess you just.
But like lungs, breathing out of your lungs.
Lungs. It's interesting. They've done some studies, and some of it actually can dilate your airway a little bit, kind of like albuterol. But there's this pulmonologist who did this lecture for us in med school, and he kind of told us the little bit of positives that marijuana did for the lungs, and then he kind of looked at the class and was like, ultimately, you're just smoking sticks and leaves, that shit just can't be good for your fucking lungs. So I'll follow his lead on that one.
So marijuana is not that bad for your lungs, what you're saying?
I'm sure you have asthma, you have already maybe some of the chronic bronchitis stuff. It could probably lead to chronic bronchitis. We're talking like, are you getting, you smoking, a hit here and there, for fun, or like blazing all day? I think there's going to be a difference there. So differently than alcohol, right? I mean, alcohol has been shown to do some really cool stuff. You have a couple glasses of red wine here and there. It's actually
good for your heart.
Good for you. Tank a fifth of vodka every day. I'm going to see you, in the detox center, and that's going to be a whole different ballgame for you. I'll tell you this about alcohol. Alcohol, another amazing substance.
I saw a thing about alcohol before you get it.
Yeah.
Ladies, the guy said it was a reel on TikTok, and they were saying how it's the only thing that dissolves everything. Like
it's crazy. As a drug, as far as I'm aware, and I'm sure there's someone out there who's going to correct me because I tend to be wrong. They'll probably be my wife because she's the best at correcting me for sure. But
first of all, salute
to my Krista Coletti. Real quick, shout out, 2-year running best pediatrician in
Way to goddamn.
She's been voted best pediatrician 2 years in a row.
And that's my dog.
And that's my wife.
Salute to Krista Coletti, bro.
Absolutely. What I was going to say is alcohol, as far as I know, is the only substance that can kill you by over-consuming it, right? If you drink too much alcohol, you can die. Kill you by the behavior, right? You get so fucked up, you drive, you do stupid shit, fall off fucking cliffs and shit, right? People die doing stupid shit drunk. And it's the only thing that you'll die coming off of if you're an addict. If you detox from alcohol, you can die from alcohol. You won't die from heroin withdrawal. You won't die from methamphetamine withdrawal. But you will die from alcohol withdrawal. So it's a crazy-ass substance. Cheers, right here. On that note, we're going to cheers right there. Again, so moderation.
Hey, listen,
if there's a theme word for today, it would be moderation.
Now, let me ask you this. We just saw the guy from the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
Me and Jeffrey have been battling since that happened. Was it a hit? Genetics? Fluke? Once in a million?
Well, I think it could be several of those. So definitely the hit, I think, was it.
I think that was it.
The hit did it. I would guarantee.
Just in the right place, though?
Right place, right time, fluke. So 1 in a million, probably less so.
Let's stop there.
Yeah.
Let's stop there.
Yeah. More than likely.
All right.
I don't have his medical records. I didn't see his EKGs, right? That kind of stuff, which can show some
predisposition. You covered.
Could show some predisposition there, but probably a fluke.
Jeffrey and I was telling Jeffrey, I said, listen, when I tore my ACL, the doctor said it's like a 1 in a something chance that pop, right?
Yeah.
That happens. This is similar to that. Isn't that weird?
Right.
This is something that can stop a motherfucker's whole heart.
Just like that. Yeah. And it happens not frequently, but it happens. It's recorded. It's documented.
I want to make sure I get his name right. Damar Hamlin, okay? Damar Hamlin. Salute to him for being on his feet at the game.
Yeah, he's
won.
badass.
They just won. Yeah. All right, they beat Miami this morning.
The statistic I saw.
Oh yeah, I got you for sure.
Oh yeah, what?
No. So there's a process there. When this guy, and I just want to explain the process because of what I think Cincinnati University did for him. They described a cooling process first.
Oh, right, yeah.
Once he arrived.
Yeah, once they got into the hospital, yeah.
And then they said it would take another
before that, maybe.
couple days to thaw him out or whatever. Can you explain a little bit of that process?
Well, definitely, I'm not an intensivist. Let's get that clear. But
is that different? Like, what's the?
Well, there's doctors who take care of you when you're at your sickest and dying, right, in the hospital.
Right.
And so those guys obviously have a different level of training and use different, medications and have tools to them that I'm not going to use in my little, family practice.
Right.
But when I worked in the hospital, actually, it's funny that there was a saying that like let's say you found somebody like in the lake or some shit, right, and they put them out of the lake and they're like frozen or whatever. And they bring them in the hospital, to see if they're dead or not. The saying was always like, you're not dead until you're warm and dead.
Right.
Right? Because basically so this is almost like the exact opposite of that. So what they're doing is they're slowing the process of dying down by chilling them, right? And just in layman's terms, right? They're chilling everything out, right? Because death slows down, right?
I want to hear you say that.
The active death of the cell slows down if it's colder. Right, so they chill your body, so your potential for the cell death is less, and then they slowly bring it back once they have control of all the other parameters. They got the breathing tube in, they got your IVs in, they got the meds on board, whatever they need. Now they can start dialing the heat back up, and then hopefully you're warm and alive, not warm and dead. But they brought him back before that. He was back. So I read they worked on him for 19 minutes on the field. That I don't know if you guys saw.
Now was he in and out? Was he in and out?
I don't know because I wasn't there, right? But like for that man to be on that field for 19 minutes before any emergency medical professionals got there,
he would have been done.
Those trainers and the people doing the CPR and that AEDs will save that man's life. Point blank.
Salute to those first responders, bro.
They saved that man's life.
It's look at the NFL for fucking having protocol. They talked about how they would drill.
Yeah.
They would drill several times before the season.
Yeah.
And I really think that would help save that young man's life, man.
Oh, absolutely. CPR saved that man's life. Basic life support saved that man's life.
Jeez,
they were on it. They recognized it. They were on it, and they just did a good job. They did a good job with their CPR, and they did the AED, and that kept them going.
Now, let me ask you this: what do you like health habits for people? Like I know you're a foodie. I want to leave the strict shit. I know you're a fucking foodie.
I love some good food, yeah.
Huh? Where's your favorite place to have food in the world?
World?
First of all, you and I have traveled.
We've done some traveling.
All right. So where's your favorite place in the world?
I mean, it's a tough one because I'll tell you, Louisiana keeps bringing me back. And so I'm kind of a New Orleans guy. I like
how you pronounce New Orleans.
Well, I've been there enough.
You've been down there.
Right,
they reprimand you, huh? When you say New Orleans.
Right. No, you can't. You got to say it right. You got to say it right.
And you got to say Nevada and not Vada.
Right. That too.
I've been bitch-smacked.
Come on now.
I've been bitch-smacked a few times.
Yeah, well,
over that part.
You're not local, so we get it. Jeff understands that.
All right. Listen.
Right.
So, listen, I love Deanies.
Deanies down in New Orleans is pretty good. It's
the fried seafood platter is my favorite down there.
If you want to, instant heart attack. I've had it a few times. I think they called it the crab quartet or something.
Ooh.
Or maybe you're talking a different one. This one was like number fried.
No. Listen.
And it's like that.
Yes, sir.
It's some good shit. It's some good shit.
What's your dish of choice when you travel?
Well,
what's your number one
dish of choice?
Yeah,
kind of depends where we're at. Like we're talking Italian. I'm definitely finding man. Cheese is good. If it's got cheese as a major ingredient,
a cheesy guy?
I'm pretty sure it's going to be on my plate. Yeah, I can almost guarantee it. How the hell do we get the cheese on this?
No, listen.
Hold on. I came prepared because I know this is a sports show. So I came prepared with a question for you and Jeff.
What?
About the heart thing.
Whoa. Don't listen, man.
This isn't like a fucking stat.
Rick,
tell me,
we've been in pre-production already. You didn't say nothing about this
shit.
You
didn't tell me we were going to talk about either.
Cleared on our show. No, where we going, man?
I got no heads up either.
God
so here we go.
Listen, where we going?
Because we're
ready
about,
for a quiz. I'm ready. Let's go.
Well, you were saying, you asked me if I thought this was like the actual hit is what did it to this guy. And it's well documented because this mostly happens in athletes. Like this is something that's where all the documentation is an athlete. And the most popular sport that it happens in is my question. Do you know which sport this happens in more than any other sport?
Soccer.
Incorrect. Jeff, you got a guess? You're gonna get fucking hit in the chest swimming. No.
I'm thinking about heart rate.
Oh, just blow the chest.
To blow the chest. Just blow to the chest.
That's what did this. Was a blow to the chest.
Was it baseball?
Baseball. The pitchers, the batters, and the catchers back before I used to wear shit is the most common sport that this happens. Documented as far back as 1900, dude.
That's not funny.
From 1900 to 1910, there was 19 baseball players who died from a direct baseball hit to the chest. So this is shit that, again, nobody pays attention to because it just happens and it's a freak thing. But about 20 times a year, this stuff happens. So,
and I think that was just a freak incident.
Martial arts is
absolutely
another common area.
Absolutely.
Right.
But you know what? You don't see too much death in UFC.
Right.
As you see in boxing.
Yeah, that's interesting. Although I imagine there's more like grappling and more like going for your head in that sport.
Yeah, but there's some
boxing,
fucking
you're going for
sick ass strikes too. Motherfucker kicking you square in the fucking head.
The good side kick to your chest will take your shit out.
Are you from Cuba? Are you born in Cuba?
What kind of a segue was that?
No, I'm just saying because one of my favorite fighters, Romeo, damn, he's a great Cuban fighter.
Marijuana will make you lose track of what you were talking about.
Hey, listen. Let me tell you something. Salute to that shit. It's close to my dot. No, first
I was born in this country.
You cut it. Right. Listen, there's this great UFC. Yes.
What's his name, dude? What's his name? You got to get his name out there.
Look him up, Jeffrey. It's Romero. It's Romero something.
I do like me some good UFC, but like the old shit, like back in the day, where like
I can never remember his first name.
Punching the crotch and shit was pretty cool. Like it seems like they toned it down.
Joel Romero, yes, and I got it right, Dr. Rick.
Nice.
He was right about the marijuana, though. Listen. So Cuban has a real rich fighting history in Cuba
and baseball.
There it is. Yeah. Listen, those guys are escaping. So how is Cuba now? Have you been back? Are you want to go?
No. I would love to go, and I probably could go. I imagine maybe some kind of humanitarian thing, perhaps. Or they're kind of strict how you get in and out of there. And
so you can't go?
I think you can go. It's eased up a little bit. I honestly don't pay attention to the politics of Cuba as much as I probably should, but me and my brother were first born generation in this country, and Cuban American, and here we are. And
is your dad still there, or your parents still alive?
No one's been back since they left.
All your family's here.
Yes, sir.
Where's your parents?
So my mother actually right now lives in Las Vegas.
Dope.
Like, I don't know about Las Vegas. I don't even give that a shout out. Yeah, it's on the fence.
And you know what's funny is that people who come to Vegas to party don't know that Vegas is fucking real.
Yeah.
Outside of what they hang around in that little area right there.
Right. Yeah.
When you get further down the Sahara, down that area, you find out what the fuck is really going on.
There's some shit out there.
Yo,
Vegas is some shit for sure.
It is.
Yeah, it's something.
I love where we live at now.
No, yeah, me too. And I would have never said that 10 I would have. Maybe not 20 years ago I wouldn't have said that. But I love this place. Yeah, it's good.
You know, I came to this town and my wife and I, I met my wife when we came to town and I actually know Rick because doesn't need to boil. Just start the stove. Boil. I got you. Shut up. I got you. I met Rick here. I got something special for you, Rick. Let me work on this real quick.
Oh.
It's not so boil. And stove. Just for my boy Rick. Well, and stove. Peppers.
I'm looking forward to that. Speaking of foodie.
Listen, we got to go over that too.
When I walked in the house. It was amazing. I don't know what it is, but it smelled damn good.
Gotcha. And listen, so
beyond the dank, I'm saying.
When I met Rick, my wife's ex-husband's sister is friends with your wife.
Yes.
Right?
Well, we've all been friends. We all met at the same time.
Bingo. There it is.
Lived together, trained together.
Yeah.
Known forever.
And so I met Rick, and it's always been nothing but love from Rick. But at the same time, it's a little weird of the dynamic. Right? And also your wife is a pediatrician.
Right. Takes care of your kids.
It takes care of my children.
That's right.
And so I just want to let you know that forever and a day that you're always welcome here.
Oh, that's very
on
kind
the Dank Dad. And let me tell you something. You're a little sneak dick, okay?
I don't know exactly what that means, but something you're gonna tell me.
You're a bit of a sneak dick. How you snuck in here and act like you didn't know what the fuck was going on, like you wasn't with the shit.
What do you
and you jumped into position like you've been doing this shit for a long fucking time.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Listen.
I'm having a cocktail.
So am I. But you set me up. And I'm telling you right now, motherfucker.
I really don't know what you're talking about.
Shit, it was like, I really don't fucking know. And I hope I do a good job in this bitch.
I don't know anything about that. I've never done this before.
And kicked off the game.
Sure how to do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Listen.
There you go.
How do you feel about just hanging out doing this type of shit?
I have no idea. I mean, it comes naturally, but the day drunk is not necessarily something I can do every day. But the day drink is a nice thing, I will say. It's for not doing it very often.
And listen,
it
makes it dope as fuck, by the way.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, this is the only way to do this shit.
Right.
And we get in here.
Yes. Sipping on a beverage at home in the basement is not as cool.
Listen, we want to make sure that down the line we can probably do this again. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to actually.
You want to take callers?
We do. I do want to take callers, and I want to take questions.
About the prostate exam.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you what though. The lube, the leftover lube,
the most important part.
Is the most disrespectful part of that process.
Well, that's why I hand everybody some tissues after.
You do, and I felt, goddamn.
Again, you thought that was something personal, just me and you.
No,
I hand everybody tissues. I just gotta tell you, it's nothing special about it.
I was gonna say I feel hoarded out. I was gonna feel
like I left a couple dollars on the thing when I walked out.
With this lube. Oh my god! Listen, bro. Hey,
you want it with the lube. Let's just be clear.
No, for sure.
Okay.
For sure. Damn.
Just
it doesn't sound good any way you put it. At all.
It's not good other than it saves lives.
Hey, you up next. It's not good but other than it saves lives. You up next. And how you feel walking out of there after that happens, you have to make a decision.
Just make sure it's done in the doctor's office.
Yes. But Rick, there was lube, and it was going to my butt cheeks. It was going to my butt. No, Was it cold?
There's always the drip.
I should punch you in the fucking face. Matter of fact, I'm out. Hey, listen, we the Dank Dads. I got my guy, Rick Gonzalez. We in the
Thank
building.
You for having me, Marcus.
If you ever have any questions,
thank you for letting me fill your seat, Jeff.
Amen. Salute to the Dank Dads. We love you, and we are out.